Welcome to Ashton's channel. I hope everybody's having a good day. So today we're going to learn how to do incident reporting. What are the proper ways to write an incident report? How can you make it flow without seeming incriminating? So today I'll teach you guys the proper way to write an incident report, or what my group home utilizes. Some group homes may utilize a different model or go after different tactics. However, I use a certain tactic because I think it's just amazing, and we teach this to our staff when they onboard. So, all of the staff with my group home is actually well certified. So if you don't have your staff well certified, I highly recommend that you get them certified. It teaches all the staff different strategies, how to de-escalate situations, what SMART goes to use, how to diffuse and delay certain situations. But on the next episode, I will actually go over well training and some different things you can utilize with your staff. But first, let's go over what internal incident reporting is. Internal incident reporting helps evaluate the incident, and it helps us understand like what happened. So kind of like a storytelling. But you don't want it to be incriminating. You don't want the story to seem like staff didn't do anything to intervene or diffuse or delay the situation. You want to show all of the interventions that you could possibly done to help the youth in any type of way. So, with that being said, we use what's called the Lalemand model, where it teaches you different ways how to do language, how to speak the verbiage, because you don't want to say things like, youth was just screaming at me. No, how would you make it more descriptive? Youth was disruptive, as evidenced by yelling and screaming. You always want to make it clear and precise about what you're telling and how you're telling the story. So for example, agitated, some things that can express agitated is pacing, fidgeting, rapid breathing, crying, or rocking. And that's a trigger for I'm in distress. So ways to relieve that distress, or something that a staff can do as a intervention, is listen to them, talk to them, refocus on a new activity, document and consult, go for a walk. Things like that will be a solution to whatever the problem or behavior was presenting at hand. So for example, if a child is disruptive, evidence of disruption is yelling, refusing, arguing, or name calling. So instead of using the youth was yelling, you say youth was disruptive, as evidenced by yelling. Some things that can be an intervention that staff can utilize would be call for help, check for undiagnosed pain, document or consult, remove from the area, use choices, which is I will teach you guys what that looks like when we talk about well training, and set limits. So different things that you can utilize instead of using simple words. For example, if a child became threatening of homicide or suicide, before you say those words, you will utilize threat of lethal. Youth presented with threat of lethal as evidenced by saying the threat of homicide. So it's different things that you would use when you're writing an incident report. And shortly, I would actually do a live incident report of what someone sent me to revise for them, and I'll show you the appropriate way to write the incident report using the Lalemond behavior scale model, where you would say things like evidence by, interventions used, how did we de-escalate the situation, what tactics did we do to calm the youth or set the youth back to baseline. So it's different tricks and nicks that I can show you. by using the Lalemand model. And it will really help you not sound so incriminating. It will help you be more precise in your internal incident reporting and also with external incident reporting. The difference with external incident reporting is when you have a youth that had to go to the hospital, which is considered in Florida called Baker Act, or a youth goes to jail, which here is called DDJ. So when you do an external report, that's when you report to the entire DCF. But for the internal incident report, it could be incidents like the youth had a physical altercation in a home with another youth, or that didn't lead to them going to the hospital. So you would just simply do an internal incident report. However, for every external incident report you do, you must complete an internal incident report. Incident reports are done 24 hours for external. Internal incident reports are done before the end of your shift. No exceptions. My staff already knows when an incident occurs, you're doing it before you leave. And if you need overtime because you need to finish the internal report, I have no problem giving you overtime. But it's very important that you do the incident report because the value of it and the story becomes less. And sometimes you might forget things because when you get home, you get so relaxed and you get so comfortable. But if you do it right then and there, you don't have to worry about having to come back and think about, okay, what really happened? Just do it right then and there. Because if you work in a micro home, sweetheart, you're gonna get brought up. Simple. But anyways, I am going to definitely show you how to write an incident report. Like I said, that was provided to me in my messages because they wanted to see how to revise it. So I will definitely be posting that and it will be added to the video. But before I close this part of the video, I wanted to give an example of writing styles. So you can have a, examples as well as when I write it down for you in a notepad so you can see it. So for example, the way that is structured, you will start off by saying individual was, and then you present the level of the behavior that the youth exhibited. Then you will say as evidenced by the behavior that was presented. And then you would say and staff, and then followed by the intervention. So for an example, how you would write a report, just a simple sentence. You don't have to be so descriptive sometimes. You can really just say small words using the Lalemand model and it will tell a whole story piece and you will save yourself from incriminating yourself. So for example, individual was disruptive as evidenced by slamming doors and staff provided emotional support to help the youth calm down. Simple. You gave what the individual was doing, how they were being disruptive, and what did the staff do. Those are three important things that you must have when you're doing your internal and your external incident reports, because we are looking at what did you do to help the youth calm down. Sometimes what we do oftentimes don't work, and sometimes we have to switch roles and have another staff who might have a better rapport with that youth to come in and intervene. Or sometimes you might have to call the police, and that's okay. You don't want to put yourself in situations where you're harming yourself. You have to always think about, what I'm about to do safer than what I'm going to do? Think about it. Is what I'm about to do safer than what I'm going to do? And if you have to take a moment to pause and reflect on your safety, do that. But always remember that you don't want to put yourself in situations where you're going to get hurt. So on the next part of this video, I will be showing you the proper ways to write an incident report And then moving forward, we will continue with talking about incident reporting and how using the Lalemand model is so successful. Stay tuned.